Hi everyone, my COM610 peers. Let me first say that I've enjoyed so much working with everyone since January 8th. We've come a long way, I feel like I have. Um, Getting used to the new technology and challenging myself to get out of my comfort zone. But to get to the point, this discussion forum requires that I answer the question, what would I do pertaining to organizational identity, employee identity, and organizational identity? And if I were at a cocktail party and someone were to come up to me, which people often do, not at cocktail parties, but through conversation and friends and at work, um, the question I am asked the most is how do I do it as a single mom? I have a 24-year-old son and a new grandson. I'm 51 today, and then my daughter is 8.5. And I work during the day, working on my master's degree online at Queen's. And what I would have to say is I always assess the situation, to whom I'm speaking, whether it's at home. When I'm at home, I have to assess and realize that I'm speaking with an 8-year-old child who's very smart, but I still have to assess that situation and communicate to her in a way that we both get the most out of that conversation and that's meaningful. And I also choose, I'm learning how not to micromanage, how to choose my battles, and I found that that tends to work. Now, at work in my professional organization, I work with a lot of students who uh, stem from different cultures. I also work with non-traditional students, and I work with traditional students. So I'm working with baby boomers, I'm working with millennials, Generation Xers, and Yers. And one thing I would say, what I would do, the first thing I probably would tell someone is assess situation and go from there. My students who are just out of high school, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, they are used to this era of instantaneous information. And they don't write anymore. They don't take notes. Well, not everyone. Most don't. Everything is electronic, and their minds just work like lightning quickly. Uh, so they have taught me how to communicate. So I'm learning how to communicate with the younger generations, my generation, and older generations. I have students who are 70 years old going to community college and have been out of school for years. But I always try to build a rapport, just as I have with my classmates at at Queens. I'm sorry, at Queens. Uh, and according to our textbook, Eisenberg et al., women tend to use rapport talk. And that is exactly what I do. I try to build a relationship, a meaningful relationship. If a client doesn't like history, I pertain to, well, what does it mean to you? Meaningful associations. But we build our identities. Our identities are dynamic, ever changing daily, and pursuant to the people with whom we communicate and with the situations we find with which we find ourselves in. And I really want to say thank you, everybody. I've really enjoyed working with you. Have a great weekend and happy 4th of July. And I'll see you July 3rd, hopefully. Have a great night.